एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज की वीडियो में हम बात कर रहे हैं एंटीजन प्रेजेंटिंग सेल्स की। द इम्यून सिस्टम कंटेन्स सेवरल सेल्स टाइप्स दैट आर स्पेशलाइज्ड टू कैप्चर एंटीजन एंड डिस्प्ले these टू lymphocyte. Foremost among these APCs are dendritic cells, the major cells for displaying protein antigens to naive T cells. Several other cell types present antigen to lymphocyte of at various stages of immune response. Dendritic cells. Dendritic cells are the most important antigen-presenting cells for initiating T cell response against protein antigen. These cells have numerous fine cytoplasmic processes that resemble the dendritic from which they derive their name. Several features of DCC's account are these key role in antigen capture and presentation. These cells are located at the right place to capture antigen under epithelia, the common site of entry of microbes and foreign antigens, and in the interstitia of all tissues. These where antigen may be produced. DCs within the epidermis are called Langerhans cells. DCs express many receptors for capturing and responding to microbes, including TLS and C type cells. In response to microbes, DCs are recruited to the T cell zone of the lymphoid organ where they are ideally positioned to present antigens to T cells. DCs express the high level of MHC and other molecules needed for the antigen presentation and activation of T cells. One subset disease is called plasmacytoid disease because of their resemblance to plasma cells. These cells are present in the blood and lymphoid organ and are major source of the antiviral cytokine type 1 interferon produced in response to many viruses. A second type of the cell with dendritic morphology is present in the germinal centers of the lymphoid follicles in the spleen and lymph node and is called follicular dendritic cells. These cells bear Fc receptor and IgG and receptors for C3b and can trap antigen bound to the antibodies are complement protein. These cells display antigen to B lymphocyte in lymphoid follicles that promote antibody response and but are not involved in capturing the antigen for display T cells. Outer antigen presenting cells, macrophages ingest microbes and are particular antigens and display peptides for recognition by T lymphocyte. These T cells in turn activate the macrophages to kill the microbes. The central reaction of the cell mediated immunity. T cells, B cells present peptides to helper T cells and receive signal that stimulate the antibody response to protein antigen, steps critical to humoral immune response. Lymphoid tissues of the immune system consist of the primary or centric lymphoid organ in which the lymphocytes and the B lymphocyte mature and become competent to respond to antigen, and the peripheral lymphoid organs in adaptive immune response to microbe are initiated. The principal generative or lymphoid organs are thymus, where T cells develop, and the bone marrow, the site of the production of all B cells, and where B lymphocyte mature. The major peripheral organs are briefly discussed. Peripheral lymphoid organ. The peripheral lymphoid organs are organized to concentrate antigen APCs and lymphoids in a way that optimize the interactions among these cells and development of adaptive immune response. Most of these body lymphoids are located in these organs. Lymphoid organs are encapsulated, highly organized collection of the lymphoid cells and innate immune response that are located along lymphatic channels throughout the body. As lymph pass through the lymph nodes, resistance APCs are able to sample antigen and that are carried to the node in which the lymph derived from the interstitial fluid of the tissue. In addition, DCs transport the antigen from nearby epithelial surface and the tissue by migrating through the lymphatic vessel to the lymph nodes. The antigen of the microbes that enter through the epithelia or colonize become concentrated in draining lymph nodes and an important role in immune response. Antigen blood entering the spleen follows through a network of sinusoids which enable it to do so. तो यहाँ तक हमारा टॉपिक कंप्लीट हो गया जिसमें हमने एंटीजन प्रेजेंटिंग सेल्स देखे हैं। तो इसके हवाले से अगर आपका कोई भी क्वेश्चन हो तो आपने ज़रूर हमसे कमेंट सेक्शन में पूछ लेना है। आज के लिए इतना ही, इजाज़त चाहूँगी। नेक्स्ट वीडियो में नेक्स्ट कंटेंट डिस्कस करेंगे। अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।